Hi guys, welcome to the GOROPODCAST at Abbott's in Studios in Grangemouth. You've got me, Aurora, and we've got Stace.
Hi.
I don't know if guys, you probably know Stacey from TikTok, Stace in Shadows. She does all that raunchy book talk stuff. And behind the camera, you can't actually see him just now. We've got the lovable Foz. Foz, say hello.
Hello.
You can actually hear him really, really well. Foz is going to be our wee technical guy. He'll be there in the background, and if we need to edit stuff in, hopefully he can do it. I hope. Yeah?
He's nodding.
Doesn't look convincing. By the way, we need to put in a wee bit of a disclaimer. We just ate Japanese food, and my stomach is currently trying to digest it very, very loudly, and this mic seems to be picking it all up. So when you hear these wee noises, we've not got a ghosty. It's my stomach that is going absolutely nuts. Talking about Chinese food, right? So we've got mochi. We've got some mochi here. Do you call it mochi? Mochi? Mochi. Okay, now, I can't eat mochi for the simple fact is, and have you eaten mochi before?
Not
oh my God.
Not willingly.
Right, so we're going to try some mochi, and the reason I don't eat mochi...
Texture issues.
Well, it's not texture. Well, yeah.
That's why I've not had it.
Right, so I don't know if any of you guys will agree with me here. Being a female, if you're a male, you might... Well, you maybe know. I don't know. But in my personal opinion, mochi, when you rub it, it feels like shaved vagina. You feel it?
Yeah.
There's just something innately wrong about biting into it. I can't do it, like... Fozzie, have you had mochi? You want to try some mochi? It's cheesecake mochi. Come and try some.
Squidgy.
Oh. I don't know if I can do it. She can't do it, Captain. What's that big red
That's
bit
what I was going to say. I've got one as well.
Have I got one that's not got that? Right, let's go for it. Oh. Something feels so wrong about this.
It feels like skin.
Why am I shaking? Apparently that's what they call it. They actually call it skin. The stuff they make the mochi with, they call it skin.
It is rank.
Fuck it, right. I don't know.
I like it. The taste.
It's
But
the
the
texture.
texture's weird.
That was my stomach. Did you hear that? Did you? Oh, I don't know.
It's like jam in the middle.
Yeah. But it's this bit on the outside. This stuff's not so bad. I don't know if you can see it from there, right? But this has got like... It's like crumbs.
It's like Angel Delight.
Yeah, so it's got like biscuit on the outside, so it doesn't feel exactly like shaved vagina right now, but mochi does. I can't do it. I'm just gonna do it in one.
That would be too much for me. Regret?
For it. You want some mochi? I can't do it. Anyway, guys, so we gave out the email address and we asked for you to send in some stories. So we've got two. We have two, and they're scary stories actually, which I was kind of hoping for. I was hoping that we would get some spooky shit. You read spooky books and that as well, don't you? I can't read. I don't watch. I've been in horror movies. I have literally starred in horror movies, but I cannot watch a horror film.
It's horror films I love, but it's got to be a specific type. Like Haunted House or Demonic Possession.
Do you know what it is?
We watched one last night actually, and it was like, you know, the point of view filming, but it's all done on like
Blair Witch.
Aye. And it was completely predictable, completely like unbelievable, like it would never happen.
Mm-hmm.
But it freaked me right out, and it got right under my skin because it was like vloggers.
Yeah.
Vlogging their retreat, and I was like, that's like me and you, just going on a weekend.
Too real.
But it was like, she was like, propped her camera up on the tripod, was filming herself talking, and there was somebody standing outside the window watching her.
Nah.
And I was like, oh, turn it off.
Nah, I can't. Even just the thought, the thought of that, I can't do it. Do you know what it is with me? It's jump scares. Mm-hmm. I can't do jump scares. So I can sit there and watch something terrifying happen, but like, if I know I'm not going to get a jump scare, I'm fine. I just don't like the jump scares. Mm-hmm. I can't deal with it. I can't like get that. Like, see, before I used to watch zombie films, right? Years ago when I was a wee girl, I'd watch zombie films, but see now because see when you so you're running down a hill, right, and there's a zombie, you bump into a zombie, and he's doing the whole, and he's going to come at you and try and eat your brain. All you do is run. Mm-hmm. They were so slow. They would like walk like this, and you are fine. You can handle that. See nowadays zombies don't do that. Zombies run fast as fuck. And they chase you and they scream as they're chasing you. I would hit the giggles because I've got a nervous laugh. I would hit the giggles. I'd probably a trail of pee behind me and then they'd find me. So I genuinely can't. I can't do it.
So if there's a zombie apocalypse, we need to blindfold and gag you?
Well, no, because if they're like zombies, realistically, right, zombies aren't going to be able to run fast, are they? If it was real life...
I mean, if they were athletes when they were alive, maybe, I don't know.
I know, but like their body's technically dead, so their muscles can't function. Foz, can zombies run fast?
Yes.
How? What's the reasoning behind it?
Well, obviously...
That was my stomach again.
So distracting.
That's it. The mist bite picks everything up, everything. It's doing me, like, Fozzy's like, I don't know, I can't hear it. We can hear it really loud.
Did you watch World War Z?
Yes.
Yeah.
Zombies can run.
Zombies can run.
How? Right, give me
So, see when you die...
Right.
And you die a normal death...
Right.
Your body stops. Your organs stop and your muscles waste. Right? That's what rigor is. Right? But if you die with a virus in your system and nobody knows how it got there or what made it or anything like that, that could effectively give you superpowers. And then your muscles could be better than they were when you were alive. That's why zombies can run fast. That's my theory. I might be completely wrong.
Foz, what's your reasoning behind zombies being able to run fast?
World War Z.
Good answer, Foz. Good answer. I don't know. I just think if the tissue's dead and the muscle's dead, they can't run fast. We're never going to know unless we have a zombie apocalypse.
No. Stick with me, I've got a plan.
What?
Petrol station.
Right.
Because you've got fuel, food, water, money.
What do you need fuel for if you're going to be staying there?
Because if you've got a car, you need to drive it.
But you just said we're staying in a petrol station.
Aye, but then you've got fuel to fuel your car if you need to go out to find anything. And you barricade yourself in.
I think casinos are armed up to fuckery. Because see anything that involves money, like Fozzie and I were talking today, right, we're going off topic for a wee minute here, but Fozzie and I were talking today and about like the mad things that you're seeing on the telly just now, like there's people out there committing crimes that aren't really, we would just kind of like go, not that bad. Like what was the one we read about today, the guy who, he was watching illegal, basically streaming illegally, right? So he was like watching like
the
illegal.
£1 million
Yeah,
scam.
Right. But he got done for 3 years, just for for what? For watching.
But
TV, but it's stuff that you didn't pay Netflix for that. But then you've got people out there that are doing really, really bad crimes and everything, and they're getting away scot-free. And do you know what the thing is? It's money. See if it involves money, you're going to do a harder time. And that's it. It's madness. Anyway, we digressed. What were we talking about? Zombies. I'm getting in a casino. I'm barricading myself in there. Nobody's getting in a casino. Do you know how armed up they are in casinos?
I've never been to one,
man.
so no.
Have you not?
No.
Never. I never ever win anything at the casino because I'm superstitious. So I always play the same 2 numbers. You go to the roulette table and it's 9 and 13. They're my lucky numbers. So every time I go in, 9 and 13. Every single time. And I never win. Maybe every now and then I win a wee bit. But if I go to a roulette table, I'm going to just lose everything, and I know it. I know I'm doing it, but I'm like, shits and giggles, eh? Might as well.
You did it for a good time.
Yeah. Anyway, right, do you want to read the first scary story?
Right. Okay. So this is from Koga,
Right.
who had a very spooky experience when he was a child. He said, I want to say I was 7 or 8 and it was Christmas time. And he was awake in his bed in his new Christmas Eve pyjamas, excited for the morning to open his presents, knowing how you are as a kid. He went sneaking about in the dark and started to hear other kids giggling. Thinking it was his brother messing around, he went to have a look. But no, it wasn't his brother. There were 3 other kids in whitish beige sleeping gowns, and they were skipping and dancing around the coffee table.
I don't know, right, stop for a minute. I don't know about you, but see any of these ghosties, why are they always wearing white gowns? What is it?
Do you not think it's to do with the time where witchery was huge?
Right, well, this is a thing, because why have we got no witches and no ghosties that you get in like 2009? You don't see MD walking about with their Reebok trainers on and their Kappa tracky, or because he died in the 90s, do you know what I mean? Their skip hat going up like that.
Maybe there is, and they just didn't present.
So why are these other ones presenting, but you're...
Because they've been hanging about for too long.
No, maybe. You get a good point, but I just really don't think the white dressing gown thing
the white sleeping gown.
It's just too dodgy. It's too dodgy. They've always got a white gown on. Like, give me a ghostie wearing a pair of Wrangler jeans or something, you know.
Some kappas.
Aye, or Kappa trackies. With their socks pulled up over their trackies.
Poppers down the side.
Exactly.
So he said they were skipping and dancing around the coffee table and playing with the presents under the tree, moving them and shaking them and pointing at me. Then,
Raging.
out of nowhere, one of the kids stops dancing around and pushes the other 2 children's heads off. One of them fell.
Wait, just pushed the head?
One of them fell off and rolled around the floor, and the others just hung there by a flap of meat on his severed neck.
Visuals.
Wait for it. Then the kid who pushed the 2 other kids' heads off pulled his own off, and they were all looking at me with their eyes rolling in the backs of their heads and their mouths open.
No.
I was scared still, couldn't move, and all I wanted to do was run out. But out of nowhere, their heads snapped to the left side at the same time. A man with an axe and an old suit came walking through the wall and window and right through the couch, saw me, waved nicely and shooed the kids away.
Nah, he done it. He's a bad guy.
He then picked up one kid's head as he ran through the same way as he entered. Then I finally found my legs again and I ran to my mum's room.
But did he chop his legs after?
Clearly. But the way I had to run was through where these ghosts had been standing.
No.
I woke her up and tried to tell her, but she was so sleepy and told me to go back to bed, that I had a nightmare, but I said I was awake and I said I didn't want to go back to bed alone. But she shooed me out the door. I then had to walk back through the same spot and it felt so cold. I didn't sleep that night, but in the morning, the Christmas presents they had been playing with were all mine. I opened them half expecting to see one of the kids' heads.
Ugh. Nah, I've got goose. That's horrible. That's definitely some guy's been running about with an axe and been chopping heads,
Beheading
man.
children at Christmas.
I don't know. And then your mum just shooing you back to your bed, man. What a guy.
But shooing you like he'd shooed them. Like that would freak you out as well.
Yeah. No, saying that, I've done that with my kids. My kids have came in and been like, Mum, wake up. There's a bad man in my room. And I'm like, oh, I'm not going in. There's a bad
Send
man
them in.
I'm not going in.
Send them in here. I ain't going.
Every man for themselves. I'm leaving. If there's a bad man in here, I'm out.
First.
I'm not taking on the day with that. That's on you, my guy. That's on you. I don't know, man. I just think, I don't know what it is. Maybe it is an era thing. It's the white.
I think it's an era thing. Because back then, witchery, all that kind of stuff was publicised.
Yeah.
And that's all the kind of spooky stories that you hear because they were able to keep them there, keep the spirits there. And now, because it's not such a thing.
It's the way they died as well,
come
like, because,
out.
I mean, the witchcraft, I mean, you didn't really stand a chance with the witch trials, though, did you? Like, so what is it? We're going to tie a brick. We're going to tie a brick to you, and we're going to throw you in the water. And, you know, if you don't come back up, then we believe you, you're not a witch, but unfortunately, you're dead, you've drowned. But if you come back up, then you're a witch, and we're going to kill you anyway.
We're going to burn you
Aye.
alive.
So you can't really, there's nothing, and everybody was accusing everybody of being a witch. You know, your man has an affair with your maid, and all of a sudden, you know, the kind of posh women in the house were accusing her of being a maid, and that's her scupper. Scupper. I mean, did you see that, like, see the big witch trials in Scotland, like the one that it was the household and it was the nanny, because the wee girl had caught like some sort of influenza or plague or something, and it kind of spread everywhere, and the nanny was like she liked to use like herbal healing. Do you know what I mean? So she would like Wicca stuff, and she would, you know, tell people, you know, like what to put in their chest if they're a bit coughy. And she didn't end up having any symptoms, and because everybody around her, but not her, got these symptoms, she got accused of being a witch. And
But now it's called holistic medicine.
yeah.
And it's accepted.
Oh, I totally believe in holistic medicine though, like 100%, like see pharmaceutical stuff. I think, see pharmaceutical stuff, right, you go into the doctor and you get a pill that's meant to help with something, right? But then you take that pill that's supposed to help with it and you get these other side effects, and then you need to take another pill to help you with the side effect, and then another pill on top of that. And then 9 times out of 10, well, I mean, it's different. I mean, I went to a doctor in America and it was totally different. But like here, if you've got something wrong with you, you go and it's just like stick a plaster on it.
Aye, but treat the symptom.
Aye.
They didn't cure the problem.
That's it. So they don't actually look at, like just now, like, I mean, well, we know I was in a car accident 2 years ago. So after that car accident, I was like, right, you know, there's something definitely not right. And you go to the doctor and the doctor's like, oh, just take the painkillers. And it's like, right, okay, well, the painkillers might take away the pain, but what's causing the pain? What's happened that I'm now in pain? And they're like, oh, I mean, see, after the car accident, see, when I went up to the hospital, they wouldn't even add broken ribs, but they wouldn't x-ray me, you know, and I was like, well, how do we know if I'm all right everywhere else? And they're like, yeah, well, you know, there's the treatment for broken ribs, we don't treat you. There's nothing that we can do for it, so there's no point in putting radiation. And I'm like, right, I understand that, but if it's bad enough that my ribs have been broken, then should we not be checking other things? So, yeah, but since then, it's just been a case of, yeah, no, just take painkillers. And it's like, well, why don't we get to the bottom of the problem? Like, because I've spoke to a lot of people about it, and that's what they've turned around and said as well. They've said, like, you don't want to have something. See, when you know you've got something wrong with you, right, you know, and all you're getting is the, you know, there's the shut-up medication, as in, there's the pain relief, there's the anti-inflammatories, that is going to just fix the symptoms, or just not even fix the symptoms, just, like, quieten them down a wee bit. And then you talk to people and they say, you know, oh no, I went to the doctors and they say that they don't know what it is. And these people are upset. And then people who have never went through it turn around and say, well, why are you upset about that? That's a good thing. And you're like, no, because I know there's something, you know, but until I know what it is, we can't fix it. You know, so they just get hit with pain relief all the time. It's pretty brutal. So I do believe in, like, ever since the car accident, I've been doing a lot of holistic stuff. And honestly, I swear by it. I absolutely swear by it. 100%. I've been getting cracked and massaged and all sorts. It's better than popping full of painkillers all the time.
Exactly.
I don't know what I was trying to say. Fupa painkillers? Fupa.
Faux pas.
Faux pas painkillers. Nah, but how did we even get into this subject?
We were talking about witches.
Right, so another disclaimer, my ADHD is intense. So even at the weekend, we were sitting at the weekend and I was talking to, we had an event on at the weekend here at Abbott's Studios, right? Foz is, you know, he's the my photographer. I work exclusively with Foz. He's OT and photographic. This is his studio, Abbott's Studio, or one of anyway. And I decided we're going to hold an event here to empower women. And, you know, I got these women a photo shoot with Foz and they got to take away a picture with them, and it was a fantastic weekend. We had a great time. There was so much hilarity. It was unreal. But I found myself, because it was so overwhelming with my ADHD, I was standing at one point at the coffee table and I'm stirring my coffee and I was talking away to one of the girls. And I was like, yeah, that's what. So I was just thinking and then walked away. And it wasn't until, sorry, that was loud. It wasn't until she shouted, she's like, Aurora. And I was like, yeah. And she's like, you were thinking what? And I was like, what? She's like, you were thinking what? And I was like, huh? And she was like, you were talking. And I was like, oh, so it was. I had to go back.
You do it every day.
I do it every day. It's so bad.
How often are we on the phone and I'll say, are you going to finish that sentence?
Yeah, oh, that's bad. Like, honestly, like, we'll be sitting on the phone and I'll be like, it's always a video call. I've got a thing. I can't talk to people on a normal call. I like to, maybe it's a trust thing, that I like to look at people in the face when I talk to them, because see when you're on the phone and they're like, oh, that's amazing. They could be like, oh, that's amazing. And actually being sarcastic about it. Whereas if you look at them in the face, they can't do that. So even Fozzie, I video call Fozzie all the time and he's like, what is it? And I'm sitting there like, oh, hi. Do you know what I mean? But all the time, I've got to video call people. So anyway, I'll be video calling Stacey and I'll be like, yeah. So I was just thinking, like, what do you think about doing? So I've got a great idea for the weekend. So this is what we could do.
Have you heard this song?
Aye. Wait, have you heard this song?
Have you heard this song?
Oh,
wait.
This is my jam. And then she'll be like, she's just sitting there the whole time like,
are you going to finish that sentence?
aye, there's about 10 different conversations going
So
on
I've
here,
started
Aurora.
writing them down.
Yeah, she does.
Because I also have ADHD.
Yeah.
But it's different for yours.
Yeah.
My memory's terrible. So I write down all the things that she says that she doesn't finish, and then I'll say, right, can we go back to this?
Aye.
And she'll go, aye. And
Aye. It's like, if you've ever played Grand Theft Auto, right, GTA, that's my life, right? So you've got the start of the game and the end of the game, but there's so many side missions as well as the main missions. There's a couple of Easter eggs here and there. So the start of the game is the start of the story, the end of the game is the end of the story. And I've got to do every side mission, find every Easter egg,
have some
go
road
into
rage.
every stripper bar,
have some road rage.
before I get to the end of the thing.
Change
so
the
she
music.
does, she writes it down. She writes everything down. Or I'll be mid-conversation and I'll be like, and a song will come on just as I'm mid-conversation, I'll be like, yeah, oh, what's that Wednesday? Oh, wait. And I've got to turn the music up and be like, wow, I remember that song. Can you hear it? Can you hear it all right? And she's just sitting there like,
Yes.
but she genuinely does write everything down. She genuinely does. She sits at a table and I see her doing this the whole time we're having a conversation. And then she'll very kindly, because she does it so gently so she doesn't offend me, circle back to the point of the conversation. It's like this whole podcast actually, right up to this point, I don't think we've actually got a specific theme.
No, but that's
Fozzie's that used to it now.
how it's
He's
going
like,
to be.
That's that.
But
That's
it's
it.
normality.
Aye.
And there'll be many people out there that are the same.
She does though, she circles back. I just did it, did you see that? I circled back.
You did.
Go me.
Although,
So,
I've not told you this part.
what?
Noah comes down the stairs yesterday and he's like, Ma, I need a bit of paper and a pen. And he lifted my notebook. I was like, no! He was like, what? I was like, that's Rory's notebook. He was like, what? I said, that's Aurora's notebook. You cannot take that one.
That's Auntie Rory's thoughts.
Rory's
And
questions and
organisations.
sentences are in there.
Exactly. But she very kindly does it, like, so she doesn't, she doesn't like aggressively do it. She'll just kindly be like, let's circle back.
Do you remember when you were telling me about that?
What?
You didn't finish it. That's normally how I do it.
That is. I actually thought she was saying that for real.
See, when we started listening to that song, do you remember what you were saying to me? Yeah.
No, you'll say, so before you started listening to the song, Rory, you were telling me that blah, 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 and I'll be like, oh.
What was
Yeah, right, wait to tell you. And then it's mad, but she does it so kindly. She does it so very kindly. How did we get into the ADHD?
You just went with that.
And that's where we're at. And that's,
You've got a spooky story as well.
I have. Oh, yeah. Okay, I have. I have got a spooky story. Hang on. Okay. Where are we at? This is another story, a listener story. Hi Aurora, spooky story here. So another disclaimer. When I read, I normally read very fast in my head, but when I'm trying to read out loud, my mouth can't keep up with my brain, but it tries. So I normally fall over myself. So please excuse me. Okay. Hi Aurora, spooky story here. We had hired a place in Whitby, excuse me, and filled it with models and photographers. We did a lot of shooting over the few days we were there. As the trip went down and folk left, of course I start coughing during the middle of the story.
That's that wasabi.
That's wasabi. Wasabi. Only me and my buddy TK stayed behind to tidy up. Upstairs we started to strip one of the beds when my phone rang. It was the other half, so I sat down at the bottom of the bed looking onto the landing and TK sat in the chair near the door. Halfway through the call, I suddenly saw a bird fly past and into the next room. Quickly, I stopped the call and we both went into the next room to shoo the bird out. But on reflection, it looked more opaque and spherical. Anyway, there was no sign of the bird, but the room was freezing cold. This is a thing.
It's an orb.
Like, I swear, ghosties, like, are refrigerated. Anyway, moving on. It actually says moving on. That wasn't me saying moving on. It actually does say that. Moving on, we eventually got downstairs and paused for breath in the corridor. TK leaning against the wall at the bottom of the staircase and me against a cupboard down door opposite him. This was at 2:00 in the afternoon. We chatted a little until the Victorian woman wearing a long back dress, bitch,
Victorian?
silently moved between the two of us and disappeared through the wall into the sitting room.
That's heebie-jeebies material. That.
Oh. We both looked at each other in amazement, acknowledged what we'd seen, and carried on tidying up and then left. No, thank you. Right, so this is the thing, right? So so I read this theory, right, that apparently there are spirits and, entities from other realms and all that amongst us, but when we see them, our brain rationalizes it, tries to rationalize it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they saw a bird, or what they thought was a bird, where in reality it was definitely some sort of ghosty. Because when they see something flying by, you automatically thought it was a bird. Mm-hmm. Especially if it was a big thing.
Because you're taught today not to believe in things like that. So rational brain kicks in.
Yeah, so if you see, like, you walk down the street and you see a senator, like, in your head, you just glance at it and you go, it's a man with a horse.
Mm-hmm. But you're never going to know.
Never going to know. Never going to know. Oh, that's...
Have you never had an experience like
that?
Oh,
so many. Like, see, if we were to start going on about my experiences, like, even just in the past week, the past week is some dodgy ass shit goes on, do you know what I mean? It's scary, like, I've got, now, it's a thing in the house that goes like, beep, 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 beep.
Like one of those key finder things.
But it's not a key, I don't have anything.
No.
It moves, wherever it is. I don't know.
Maybe Koga sent you one of his headless children.
Take it back. No, I don't want that. No, thank you. I'm out. So, what we got for us? Time? Okay, guys. We'll wrap it up here and we will be back next week. We're just going to keep rolling after this. Sorry, we'll cut this bit out. He's just going to stop, it's fine. Okay, so we had to, guys, you'll probably see this was cut, by the way. I'm just going to tell you now because the mic was doing Fozzie's head in, so he wanted to change the mics over. So we're here, we're back with the new mic, but we were talking about scary stuff a minute ago. So Yeah, we're talking about scary stories because we had some listener stories. You know what we need to do? We need to do a conspiracy one.
Oh, yeah.
Also, excuse me, I'm eating a mint here, but anyway. Right, scary stories, have you got any that happened to you, but it has to be real life?
Hundreds.
Right, give us... My earliest memory is actually a ghost story.
Is that?
So, and honestly, I can have my granny and everything verify this, right? So, when I was a wee girl, I had this friend, Peter. And I can remember Peter. I can remember playing with Peter. I can remember him coming over to the house. I can remember him sitting having dinner. And everything I did, Peter did with me, right? If I was getting a sandwich, I'd say, can Peter have a sandwich too? Right? And I can remember Peter like it was yesterday. It's crazy. I actually made like a 3-part TikTok about this story. So anyway, at this time I was an only child, right? And yeah, I would play with Peter, and my mum had hair right down to her bum at the time, right? And it was really, really long. And I would start doing these like weird things, like, going, like, my mum would wake up in the middle of the night and I'd be sitting at the side of her bed and she'd be like, what are you doing? And I'd be like, shh, Peter's beside you. And she'd be like, nah. And, things like that. It was just like, or I would come in crying in the middle of the night and my mum would wake up and say, what's wrong? And I'd say, Peter's throwing spiders in my face. And she'd be like, oh, that's a bit. So anyway, months went by and, I continued to play with Peter. And my mum had went to a spiritualist with my granny. And she goes in and the spiritualist was apparently spot on, like absolutely on point. So she was saying things like, my mum had just found out she was pregnant with my little sister, but nobody knew. Nobody, like, she hadn't told anybody. She hadn't even told my dad yet. And the spiritualist was like, oh, you're pregnant and you're going to have a little girl. Mum was like, oh, that's kind of... She hadn't told anybody, but also my mum had booked an appointment with a hairdresser to get her hair all cut off. Now, my mum's hair was her pride and joy, so it's something that she would never have normally done. But she was insistent she was going to go and get her hair cut off, and the spiritualist told her that. She told her absolutely everything. But then she said, trigger warning here, guys. She says, I can also see your mum, but she's holding a baby who's no longer living. But the baby's a little girl, but her name is George. And my mum was like, what? And she's like, I'm getting the name George. And mum was like, hey, what? And she's like, it's your mum, and she's holding this baby whose name is George, but the baby's not, that's my stomach again, the baby's not living. And mum was like, all right, okay. So she went on and there was this big, really detailed, reading, and she says, do you know who's telling me all of this? And my mum went, no. And she says, you've got a daughter already. And my mum went, yeah, Aurora. And she went, Aurora is very in touch with the spiritual world. And mum was like, all right, okay. She says, like, she has a gift. Like, she can see things that we can't. And unlike, most children who are born with gifts, like, she will continue to have this through adulthood. And mum was like, right, but who's telling you all of this? And she went, Peter. And my mum went, what? She went, Peter. And mum went, no, Peter's my daughter's imaginary friend. Apparently Peter wasn't real, by the way, so we've not mentioned that till now.
Peter was not an imaginary friend, he was a spirit.
Absolutely. So she was like, Peter's telling me. Mum's like, nah. And she says, no, it is. She says, do you know who Peter is? And Mum was like, no, how would I know? She went, ask your dad. And Mum was like, pfft. So anyway, after the spiritualist thing, they'd went and my mum had said to my granny, she says, what did she say to you? And my granny's like, well, and she says what she said, and my granny says, you're looking off a shaking, are you all right? And she says that she saw you holding a baby who'd passed, and it was a wee girl, but her name was George. And my gran says, aye, that's right. She says, so my great granny died having the baby. She died of childbed fever. Right. And the baby passed as well, and the baby's name was Georgina. And apparently my great granny and Georgina's, they had a joint funeral. My great-grandpa gave my granny the baby and said, say goodbye to your wee sister, it's the last time you'll hold her, and my granny was holding the baby, but her name was Georgina. Yeah. And then she phoned her dad, and she told her dad everything that was going on, and she says, so I have to ask you who Peter is. And he was like, well, Peter, like what? And she says, I have to ask you who Peter is. And she says, well, he says, Peter was my wee brother. He died of tuberculosis, TB. And she was like, really? And he went, so we went over to my papa's house. We went over there, and out of curiosity, they'd had a picture of like a wee old black and white khaki picture of Peter, and they put it on the table with a lot of other pictures. And I was sat up at the table, I climbed up on the table, and I was kneeling, and I'm looking at all the pictures, and I pulled Peter's picture out, and I was like, look, Mummy, there's Peter. And Mum was like, what? And I was like, there's Peter. So my mum was like completely freaked out, and we had a wee dog at the time called Cher, and she was the most placid wee thing ever. So the weeks went by, and by this point my mum's terrified now. Every time I'm playing with Peter, you know, she's like, get away from me, child. But I went in the living room one day, and my mum was sitting in the living room with my Auntie Diane, and I ran in the living room and I was like, Mum, you need to come here now. And she's like, what is it? And I says, it's Peter, you need to come here. And she's like, oh no. And I'm like, but Mum, you need to come here. And she's like, why? And I says, Peter says that he's ready for you to see him now. And she was like, what? So she gets up, and I go running into my bedroom, and I go down on my knees, and you know how the valance sheets that hang for your bed, that, you know, the sheet that kind of looks all fancy and it comes down. I go down on my knees and I lift up the valance, and I'm like, Peter, my mum's here now, you can come out. And the dog runs past my mum, who's standing at the bedroom door, and he's got her front legs down, and her hackles are all up, and she's under the bed, and she's growling and barking, and she's trying to get under the bed. And my mum literally just grabbed me, and he told me out the room, and she was like, she ended up phoning the wee priest in the corner at the night.
Exercise.
I can need my house exercised, and maybe my daughter. But yeah, it was an ordeal. And then right after that, she says that stuff kind of got a wee bit crazy with the whole Peter carry on. She found out she was having a girl. And then, you know, the stuff that Peter was doing through the night, like throwing spiders and whatnot, you know, he was doing it more often. And, you know, me saying that Peter was in bed with her was happening almost every single night. And I'm saying, he's playing with your hair, Mum, and everything else. And she's like, nah. But then in December the 22nd, my little sister was born. And I was always head over heels in love with my wee sister. I was like, she's my baby sister. And Peter just kind of seemed to vanish around the same time. I think it was just kind of, maybe I was a lonely child, I don't know. But for Christmas, for years after that, our Christmas toys used to start going off on their own and all that. And when I had went to a spiritualist years and years later, she brought up the Christmas toys, and she was like, your Christmas toys, are they still going off on their own? And I was like, no. And I was like, that's crazy. And she was like, it was just Peter reminding you he was there. And I was like, So yeah, but I still remember to this day, I still remember Peter. I still remember what it looked like, as if he was a physical, like, actually there, right there. You know, I can remember his voice. I can remember everything. It's madness.
Because to you, it was real.
Yeah.
He was there.
He was there. He was there. That's it. I could see him as clear as day.
That's mad.
I know.
That is mad.
You get any?
I've got loads, but there's one that's prominent in my mind.
Go on.
It was when I was pregnant with
Right.
Noah. And Noah's dad worked nights. So I was always in the house myself at night. And stuff like this doesn't affect me. I'm always like, oh yeah, you're just passing through. Because at the time, my house, I had about an 8-foot garden. There was a 6-foot wall, 6-foot dike, and there was a graveyard on the other side. And I always found it really peaceful because it was always so quiet. There was never any bother. My grandparents were in there. I always felt really settled.
I think graveyards are really peaceful.
And folk that used to come, like when my mates came round, or my aunties and that came round, oh, I don't know, freak you out a wee bit. And I'd be like, oh, it's peaceful. And the room, the bedroom at the back of the house was the nursery. And And I always used to just sit in the rocking chair and look out onto the graveyard at night before I went to sleep. Because I just found it really relaxing.
Yeah.
So this one night I was sitting looking out the window and I wasn't very far along. I was really no well though. I remember being really, really unwell. I had norovirus. I'd been in the hospital on a drip, all the rest of it. And home again. And it was the first night that Noah's dad was away to work. And I'm sitting in this chair and I'm looking at the window and I seen all these wee lights. And I'm like, oh, fireflies. You know, like you're saying, making it.
Aye, more
real.
Understand, your brain comprehends it into something that
so
you know.
So I'm like, oh, look at all the wee fireflies, that's nice. I'm going to go to my bed now. Obviously, you know what it's like being a pregnant woman, your bladder gets up to go to the toilet in the middle of the night. And I'm no one for putting lights on. So I was just like...
Oh, you spooky bitch. Nah, I watch horror films and I'm like, put the fucking light on!
My bedroom door was there, the second bedroom door was there, and the bathroom door was there, and that was the top of the stairs. My landing was like a square, right? So there was nowhere to go. Like, you didn't have to run down a corridor or anything like that. It was just there. So no lights, in the bathroom. Has a pee. Opens the door. There's this wee man standing.
What? In your toilet?
In the landing.
Oh, the landing.
I'm still in the bathroom, going back to my room. Comes out the bathroom, there's this wee man. No word of a lie. He had a parchment and a quilt and a monocle. And he just looked at me and he did like this. And he just ticked this page. And he went away down the stairs and out through the front door.
You've told me that, actually.
But then, I never thought anything of it. I thought, oh, okay, hiya, bye. Just passing through kind of thing. Like, doesn't bother me. And then Noah was maybe about 2 or 3. And he was quite late with his speech. And he didn't start talking till he was a wee bit older. But every now and again, you would just catch him and he'd be watching Paw Patrol or whatever on the telly and he would turn and look at the door at the bottom of the stairs to the front door and he'd just do that. Hi!
Fuck off.
And
it was the monocle thing?
It was the wee man with the monocle.
Nah.
And he'd just go, Mummy, hi! Like that. And I'd go, uh-huh. And I was like, but I went to a spiritualist years later and he was like, that's your spirit guide. He was just there to let you know that things were okay.
I'm sorry, but the whole thing in that story, the bit that freaked me out was the Wayne doing that.
And still to this day, I'll go, hiya, Mum. And I'm like, ah! He's like 13 now, and I'm like, stop doing that.
Nah. I had a spiritualist out when Scott was just born. I got a spiritualist out and he came out to the house, and the reason I got him out was it was for my son, because my son and his dad just absolutely did not. They hated each other. Well, his dad didn't hate him, but he just would not. They were constantly clashing. And he came out to the house and, you know, it was strange. He came out, I don't want to drop names, but he's been on the telly and all that, this spiritualist. And he came in and he started, like, moving my furniture about the living room. And I'm just like, it is what it is. Just let him do his thing. I asked him if he wanted a cup of tea or coffee, and he just wanted water and lemon. And I was like, oh, okay. So went away and got him that, and we sat down, and he did a absolutely spot on reading. Apparently my son and his father knew each other in a past life and had words, and you know, my son actually killed his father in a past life, and it's madness, right? But this guy had says to me, I think I've told you this story.
Yeah.
So this guy, honestly, this is without a word of a lie, this guy was like, Aurora, you're very in tune with the spirits. Now, I am a volva in the Norse pagan faith, so, you know, it comes with the job description as well. But he's like, no, like, you're very, very, very... He says, have you ever tried to, like, work on it to, you know, enhance it? And I was like, nah. And he was like, I would like to take you to meet somebody. He says, there's this house. And he told me where it was. He says, it's like a wee farm in the middle of a field, basically. He says, but it's a shaman that, you know, I can take you to him and we do this kind of, you know, he'll help work on, you know, your spiritual abilities or whatever. And I was like, okay. So I think at the time I was more starstruck than anything, because this guy's been on the telly, do you know what I mean? And he's wanting to take me and go and work with me in spirituality. So anyway, we go to this house one morning and we walk in, And he gets greeted by the shaman guy, and, you know, they tell me to take a seat in this hallway, right? And it's like a wee bench, and there's a wee bench across from it. So I sat down, and him and this shaman, you know, go away into another room. And there's a room diagonally across me, and this wee man, just a wee man, comes out the room and he sits down in the seat across me. So I get talking to this wee man. I'm a very people-y person, so I'll pick up conversation rather than two people sitting there in awkward silence. So I sat and he was talking away at me, but he kept doing that to his chest, and I was like, that's strange. He keeps rubbing his chest, and anyway, so I was talking away for a good wee while, and I heard the door close, and I turned round to see this guy and the shaman walking back out the room. So I kind of looked at them, and I turned round to say bye to this wee man, because they were telling, you know, the guy and the shaman were saying, right, come on, we need to go and do this. So I turned round to say goodbye, and the guy wasn't there. But the word goodbye, basically, I'll see you later, had come out my mouth before I realised that he wasn't there. And I was like, I'll see you. And then he was gone. And then the guy was like, who are you talking to? And I was like, there was a wee man just sat here. Like, the wee man that was sat here talking, are you seeing him as well? And they're like, there's nobody else in the house. And I was like, nah, there is, because I was just talking to him. Like,
just had a full-blown conversation.
Exactly, I just had a full-blown conversation. We talked about the weather, we talked about everything. Like, I was literally just sitting, and they were like, no, there's nobody here. There's nobody here. And I was like, one of the ones. But I think that's the thing, like, and that's the thing that worries me. Like, if I am very, very, very spiritually in tuned, every spirit that I've seen that have been confirmed spirits have been 100% real in my eyes. Because, you know, you get these spiritualists that turn around and say, oh, you can clearly tell it's a spirit. These weren't obvious spirits to me. These were people. Like Peter, I remember Peter as a person. This guy was a person.
But it's funny that you say that, because I've had experiences like that, and so has my brother. And they're very much human to you. Like, I always had this, do you know where the Stirling Services roundabout is?
Aye.
Where you go on all the motorways and there's the petrol station and whatnot. I hadn't long passed my driving test, so I would have been about 17, 18.
Aye.
Every time I drove around it, there was a guy in a trackie and a skip hat standing on the bridge across from the petrol station, and his car was broken down. Right? Wasn't he? There wasn't always a car there.
Right, but he was still there.
First time I seen him, there was a car and a man. And it was a young man, and he was in a trackie.
Right.
A grey Adidas trackie with the white stripes down. And a hat to match. And he waved. So I waved back. I thought, didn't think. And I went with him, I was like, oh, there's a guy broke down at the roundabout, to my dad and whatnot. That was never thought about it. And then a couple of weeks later, I drove round the roundabout again. The guy was there, same trackie. No car this time though, just waves. So I waved back. I thought, he must just go there to like clear his head, like I'd go to the places I like to. Never thought anything of it. And then I was in the car with my pal Mark one day, and we're driving round and I waves to the guy. Fuck, are you waving at? I was like, the guy standing on the bridge, and he was like, Stacey, there is nobody there. And I was like, he's there all the time, he always waves at me. And he was like, there is nobody. Yeah.
No. I think my house is absolutely haunted. I mean, I done a video the other day on TikTok, 100%, and it was the sleep apps, about how different frequencies, like I was listening to a sleep frequency, and as I was listening to it, I was woke up that night. So it was like so many hertz, right? You listen to so many hertz, and it's meant to promote like deep sleep.
Yeah,
and
your REM and all that stuff.
So I used it because I'm a bad insomniac. So I had used this deep sleep frequency app, and the first night I used it, I was woken up, and it was like, it was so loud it gave me a fright. It was something, and it was a man, a very deep male voice going, hello. And I woke up with a fright. Now, there shouldn't be any men in my house. I don't have any men in my house. It's me and my kids. So I got up, and you do what a mum does and check all the bedrooms, the kids' rooms, make sure they're okay. I ran down the stairs. Nobody there, right? And I was like, I thought, God, I must have just been getting into a bad dream, or I must have been dreaming it. So went back to my bed, but I turned the app off. I fell asleep. Now, I didn't use it for 2 nights after that. And then on the third night, again, I used the app, fell asleep, but this night it was even worse. It was like I woke up with like on my bedroom door, and then it was like, Aurora, like that, but it was very aggressive. And I bounced out my bed, absolutely flew out my bed, switched the bedroom light on, because I'm not a spooky bitch like you that likes to run about the house with the lights on.
Oh no, if something like that happened, I would put the light on.
Oh, then that makes you a wee bit more
I just
normal.
didn't turn the light on if I'm going for a wee in the night.
Nah, I need to. Like, nah, I thought ever stuff and all this. I'm clumsy. I've got to. My kids just leave random fucking Barbie shoe.
Oh, mate.
See they wee plastic shoes?
No thanks.
They're more ruthless than a fucking Lego any day.
Or the wee tiny teacups.
Aye, things like that. No, do you know the worst thing I've stood on, right? So, you know Macapaka out in the night garden, right?
Unfortunately.
So, you know his wee tail, it looks like a wee shite, really.
Wee
It's a
curly.
wee curly thing, right? So, my
Faced
daughter...
in.
Aye. So, my daughter had a wee hard plastic, and it wasn't a hollow. It was, like, filled. It was solid. Like, mini Macapaka. And he was face down on the stairs. And when I go down the stairs, I, like, gallop. Right? I go, like... Boom, 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 right? And it's like a wee skip. So you're always kind of going down heavy in your feet. And I went full force, barefooted, on top of this, upside down Macapaka. And I kid you not, I did an absolute Ronaldo. You know the way the Ronaldo, he just gets tapped and he throws his cell and rolls his cell about.
I can actually feel
I
that.
done a Ronaldo. I roly-polied the rest of the way down the stairs, and I wasn't even caring that I just roly-polied down 6 stairs. I got to the bottom and I'm holding my foot and rolling from side to side. Every sweary word that I know in my vocabulary was getting screamed out at the top of my lungs. But anyway, ADHD.
You turned the light on.
I did. I turned the light on. You were ready to tell me that there. You were ready to be like, let's kindly circle back, Aurora. Let me guide you. So that was the second night that I'd used it. And I went back to my bed and I says, it's got to be the app. It's got to be that app, because that's the second time I've used it, and it's the second time that's happened, and it's never happened before. I have had scary stuff, I'll tell you about that in a minute. But it was a good couple of weeks later, and I was like, I'm not using it again. And a couple of weeks later, my insomnia was so bad I hadn't slept for about 2 days. And I was sitting, and don't get me wrong, see this sleep, the app, the megahertz that I was listening to, or whatever it is, the frequency, it sent me off to sleep, which is a big thing. I'm saying sleep and I'm going to yawn now. Oh, sorry guys if I made them Dale Sean, but it just means that you're an empath, so that's good. Or empathetic anyway, to my needs, is Fozzie doodling. What are you doodling there, Fozzie? He's drawn a dick, that's what he's Anyway, so this third night that I'd used it, I was lying in my bed. I thought, fuck it, I'll just put it on. I keep going to yawn because I'm talking about me being in my bed now. I'm so sorry, guys. And yeah, I lay down, put the app on, and you see my mattress. My mattress is one of those mattresses, right, that see if it's advertised that see if I put my bottle of Coke down.
You can jump on the bed and it doesn't spill.
Yeah, because the mattress is maybe one of these ones that it's like a non-disturbance mattress, so like you can jump in one end of the bed and you don't feel it in the other end of the bed, supposedly. So the third night I used it, I woke up with somebody doing this, like say hands at either side of me on like so I'm lying in my back. And it was as if somebody had, like, threw themselves on top of me, but, like, landed on their hands. And in my face went, boo, like that. And I felt their breath, everything, right? And you know that way that if I do that to you just now and put my hand really close to you but don't touch you, you can feel me, yeah? I felt that. And I woke up and put the light on, and I am not kidding, I was fucking scared. Like, I got a fright. I actually ended up, after checking the house, I even checked my security cameras, everything. I ended up getting my daughter.
Was this the night you were messaging me at 4 in the morning?
Probably, most likely. And I was like, can you come in and sleep in my bed? I was terrified.
I can't cope with this myself.
Exactly, I'm getting my teenage daughter and I'm like, can you come in and sleep in my room with me today? She's like, what? And I'm like, we can watch a movie or something. She's like, right, okay. So she climbed into bed with me, but that absolutely... But I've definitely got a malevolent spirit. A malevolent spirit in my house. So I have. Definitely, 100%. How long did it take you to draw that, Fozzie? So just to let you know, guys, Fozzie was just letting us know that we've got 5 minutes left. And he sat and drew a big fancy... Fozzie, chuck it over so I can show the camera, yeah? So it was probably 10 minutes when he started drawing this.
That's quite impressive.
So that he could show us this when it came to the 5-minute mark. So it was. But yeah, I've got there's too much to get into just now since Fozzie's just told us we've got 5 minutes left.
Just for you mentioning your sleep app.
Mm-hmm.
I've got an idea for the next podcast.
What? I'm not falling asleep to a sleep cat.
I have an app on my phone.
Right.
As you know,
right.
I'm a spooky bitch. It's called GhostTube.
I've got that.
Have you ever used it?
Yes, it's fucked up.
Have you used it properly though?
Oh, I don't know what it properly is, but do you want to do that next time?
I think we should do that.
Right, let's do that. Next time, remind me to tell yous about the scars on my arm that happened in real time while I was on a video call, and let me tell yous all about Nora. All right, guys. Oh, Fozzie's got it as well. Excellent. Do you know what would have been hilarious if he showed us the camera there and something?
And there was somebody standing behind it.
Somebody was standing there.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, we will round it up there. It's been absolutely a blast.
Do you want to mention the email so people can write
Yes, please make sure to email into the GOROPODCAST@yahoo.com if you want your listener story read out, like the two that we did tonight. You can stay absolutely anonymous. Or you can blast your name out there. We don't mind at all. The only people that are going to see these emails is us two. So you're safe if you want to stay anonymous. In the meantime, we're going to come back next week with our more spooky stories. So yeah, also stay tuned for after this is launched, there's going to be another podcast that's done. It won't be done in the studio. It's already been recorded with myself and the amazing Jamie Ryder. That will be posted out as well. It was just done via Zoom call. But it's another podcast for you as well, guys. Okay, but Stacey and I will be back the same time next week with more spooky stories or whatever stories you decide to tell us, conspiracy theories, anything that you guys want.
All the weird and wonderful.
All the crazy shit. All the crazy shit. We are here for that crazy shit. Mm-hmm. Like, hype out our chaos, talk down the gasoline, and we're good to go, people. All right.
No more mochi, though.
No more mochi.
No.
Fuck that. If you haven't tried, honestly, give it a wee feel. Give the mochi a wee feel and tell me if you think. Comments below if you think it also feels like shaved vagina. In the meantime, guys, we will speak to you all next week, yeah? Love you all.
Love you, bye.
Love you, bye.